The Auburn Tigers entering year 2 under Hugh Freeze in 2024 here in SEC football play. Yes, we see Auburn, a team that had some very low lows last year and also had some high marks and some just near misses against some elite football programs. I think you're going to see you've seen Hugh Freeze take the bull by the horns, so to speak, this offseason, get back to his roots of being the guy running that offense, of calling the plays, made a change on defense as well, brought in two really talented defensive minds and two kind of differing personalities that I think will accommodate each other quite well in Charles Kelly and DJ Durkin on the defensive side. So I think there's a lot to be excited about for Auburn going forward. The roster was nowhere near where it needed to be in that year one, and they still almost beat Georgia. They still almost beat Alabama. And of course, both of those games were at home, and that's important. So remember that as we get into our bold predictions here for the Auburn Tigers in 2024. Hello, everyone. I'm Blayne Gilmer. Welcome into SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before we get to those bold predictions, we do have to pay the bills real quick. We're going to tell you about our friends over at MYBOOKIE.ag. Listen, Auburn basketball, exciting as well with Bruce Pearl and them, and they're going to be in March Madness. If you want to bet on March Madness, if you want to put a little extra skin in the game on some NBA games, whether it's college baseball or whether it's MLB, whether it's MMA, whether it's soccer, anything that you want, you can bet on it using mybookie.ag. You've heard the name MyBookie everywhere, and there's the industry's leading online sportsbook and casino. And it's not hard to understand why, guys, because not only do they have those lines that you can bet against the spread, you can bet the totals, you can also bet on dozens of prop bets for each contest out there, and they have it all. Period. Whatever you want, they've got it. Take advantage of MyBookie's prop builder and live in-game betting, where every single play in each contest matters. Visit their mobile-friendly website today, mybookie.ag, and get your deposit matched up to halfway, up to $1,000 on initial deposit, just using the promo code SECU, guys. So use this promo code right here at mybookie.ag, SECU. You use that and you can get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Guys, thank you so much for checking out our friends at MyBookie. Bet, win, and get paid. MyBookie.ag. Now, I just mentioned how Auburn almost beat Georgia and almost beat Alabama at home, Jordan-Hare Stadium, in 2023. Well, in 2024, guys, we see a home schedule that is loaded up front in terms of the amount of games. In fact, the first 5 weeks of the season, Auburn is going to be at home. Alabama A&M, California, New Mexico, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. I think those are all winnable football games. You skip ahead 3 weeks after, so they get 3 straight road games, Georgia, Missouri, and Kentucky. Those are all going to be very tough. I would probably venture to say Auburn loses all 3 of those games, but then you come back home and you get Vanderbilt at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and you get ULM, and you also get Texas A&M. You get 8 home games this year if you are Auburn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games for the Auburn Tigers in the 2024 season. And my bold prediction number 1 is that Auburn will go undefeated at home. I think they'll beat Texas A&M at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think they'll beat Oklahoma. And I think all those other teams that they play at home are almost lock wins. I know what happened last year with New Mexico State and all that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, I think this Auburn team is going to be improved offensively. They have a lot of key guys coming back on defense. I think the coaching staff changes were apropos, and I think they're going to do very, very well. So I think Auburn's going to go undefeated at home. That puts you at a baseline of 8 wins on the year, and then it's what do you do in those Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky, and Alabama games on the road. Those 4 could determine you from having a solid season to a great season if you're the Auburn Tigers. So that's prediction number 1. Bold prediction number 2, Payton Thorne passes for over 3,000 yards. Guys, Payton Thorne failed to pass for 1,800 yards in the 2023 season, okay? At times, he looked lost out there, didn't look confident. But I think a lot of that had to do with who was calling the plays, how the plays were being designed, how they were marrying up some of the run concepts with the certain RPO concepts, and also the receiver's inability to create separation and the inability to gain the confidence of Payton Thorne. When you're not confident in the guys that you have out there to be a receiver as a quarterback, that really just changes everything for you, because you don't feel like, hey, if it's a tight window, I can trust my guy to go get it if I put this ball in a place where he can catch it, and just makes a big difference. And I think you're going to see the closer work with Hugh Freeze between him and Payton Thorne, I think is going to pay off. And I think it's going to be year 2 in the SEC, year 2 in some of these environments, things like that, and year 2 in overall Hugh Freeze's system, but now with it really kind of kicked into overdrive a little bit. So I think Payton Thorne passes for over 3,000 yards because not only of the experience that he now has in the SEC, the fact that Hugh Freeze is calling the plays, but also improvement at the wide receiver position. And that brings us to number 3. 5-star Cam Coleman comes in to Auburn, and I think will make a huge impact right away. I predict as a freshman, he will have over 500 yards receiving, and he'll have 5 touchdowns on the year. For reference, Auburn's leading receiver was monstrous tight end Rivaldo Fairweather this past year with 38 receptions, under 400 yards. He was at 394 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. I don't think that Cam Coleman will be the leading receiver, because I think Jay Fair will take a step forward. I think Caleb Burton will take a step forward, but I think he's going to be a major contributor. You could even probably see Perry Thompson work himself into being a guy who could, make some plays for Auburn at one point in the year. But I think Cam Coleman is going to be that guy that just is hard to defend overall, and he's a guy that's hard to really get a one-on-one matchup with if you're a DB and just feel confident that you're going to come away with it. He can do so many different things. Elite route runner, great dexterity, can create after the catch. I think Cam Coleman is going to be a superstar on the Plains, and I think he starts off with a fantastic freshman year in the SEC. Guys, thank you so much for watching this bold prediction video on the Auburn Tigers and their 2024 football season. You can follow us on all the social medias using @SEC Unfiltered. You can follow me using @BGilmer18. Head over to the website. We got great stuff over there as well, SECUnfiltered.com. So for everyone at SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet, I am Blayne Gilmer. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back to talk more Auburn football, more SEC football, and more college football very, very soon. Remember, presented by MyBookie.ag. We'll catch you guys soon.